What's up guys, how's it going? Kyle here. I'm going to do another quick video of we're moving water from my buddy's house to our house here, putting all the plumbing into the sump, which has already been put under. Basically what I did is attach the bulkhead, got my 2-inch Spears valve in there, and or the gate, it's a Spears gate valve, and that's really only just to keep, it's just an extra thing for me, I wanted it, and so that goes inside the sump, and then we have plumbed in the pump as well, siliconed all the fittings, so we should be good to go there. Right now you may be able to hear the blow dryer is helping to cure the silicone at least enough to where it will no longer be sticky to the touch, and then we will be able to put water in the top tank itself, so that'll be good. We have rock here, we have water, 100 gallons here. He's making 50 more. It's taking about 4.5 hours to do 55 gallons, so it's going to be awesome. Let's go take a look. Alright, so here's what we look like in here now. So we have the bulkhead in place, as well as the 90, and then the valve inside. And again, this isn't to regulate or anything like that. This is solely to cut the water off if I need to. And then there's a strainer on this side of that, so water will go through there, out this side, and then there's remember a long time ago we had the issue right here with not being able to fit a full union ball valve in there, so I just put a true union in. So I can still take the pump out if there's an emergency. Again, I can cut water here and take the pump out. This is a true union ball valve, so I can pull that out as necessary if needed. The goal is to never have to do that, but if there's an emergency, then it's an emergency, and I can take the wet vac, the shop vac, and clean any water that comes out of there. It's not that big of a deal. So that's this. Everything else is in. I don't have a light under here just yet, but I still have to at some point. It's not an emergency again, but I have to lengthen this piece, but everything else is the way it should be. We've closed off all the valves, so we've cleaned out the bottom here. It's been shimmed up. We've got some extra sheets of let's try again. Some extra pieces of lock line put in. We've discovered that utilizing old lock line with new lock line is didn't work for us. Old lock line is brittle and cracks, and it doesn't want to. The new stuff doesn't want to lock and stay in place with the old stuff interchangeably. So, just a tip, buy some more, because my original piece up there was older. When you put a new piece on it, it just wants to flop around, and which means it wouldn't get a good seal. So we actually have a couple pieces of lock line that are from the old tank, and we put a little bit of silicone in one of these guys, so it will be more rigid for sure, but that's okay. I really don't need to move it this here. I have a couple of extra pieces. I put a little split, if I can see it over here. Not really. There's a little split right there that has there it is, kind of, sort of, that so you can at least, I can pull the nozzle out to the middle and alter my flow. Got a couple fan pieces, the same as on the other side. You can probably see it's right there. Let's see if I can zoom in. Hey, look at that right there. It's a split, so it's the same thing right here. So anyways, that's the gist. We'll have water today, which is good. At least some water, maybe not all of it, but we'll get some in. So, all right, we have water going in now. You notice the bottom, there's no sand or rock in it yet. I'll explain the mentality here in just a little bit, but we're going to get the water in. We've got 100 gallons of water. This is a 150-gallon tank, and we're going to build the rock outside, take it apart, and then bring it inside. I've got a template laid out outside, and I'll show you that here in just a second. So we're going to at least put this first bucket of water in. We're getting the Duro drain spouts put in there in the back, and then we're going to check for leaks with just a little bit of water here. So I'm probably going to go ahead and turn this off. I'm going to fill up a little bit of the back and just make sure that the silicone is holding strong underneath. So we'll do that in just a second. Alright guys, have the rock outside here, and we're going to aquascape a little bit. So these are the big pieces that were at my buddy's place, and some of the smaller pieces. Basically what I did is I taped off on my table, the inside of this is 48 by 24 to there. And so basically I know that I have the overflows in the back over here and over here. So what I'll do is kind of set everything the way I want it inside of it, knowing that I'll have to grant extra space back there, and that will at least give me a general idea of how much space I have and where I can put things. So, and then if we need to make adjustments, we can make adjustments as we go. So we have a drill, we have a mason bit, we have the acrylic rods, we have a very large blunt screwdriver. I don't have a chisel. I have a hammer and a hacksaw. So we're going to kind of make a kind of like a tower type thing. We'll take a look at it here in a little bit. So basically I'm just cutting this off to where I can get a flat surface. This piece I'm going to have sitting straight up in the back here, and I will build an arch in between them. But to do this now I'm going to have to, it cuts pretty easily as you maybe just saw, but I'm going to have to move the blade to where we cut at kind of an angle. This saw has a cool feature that lets you do that, which is why I bought it. The other one didn't. So when we cut it off here, you can see there's a lot of water that's even just still in this guy. Since we took it out, just a day ago, it's still leaching water out, which is good. It means that it's soaked it up, and the micropore structure is awesome. We just hacksawed that off, and now this will be able to separate just like that, and it's relatively sturdy. I mean, we'll just put a couple of little dabs of underwater like JB Weld type stuff, and so we can now rotate and position this however we want. And probably something like this maybe. We had a little bit of dark stuff that we used the chisel and cleaned this out. There's still a little bit of a dark algae probably of sorts that is on there. So we just cleaned off some of it, kind of made a little bit of an interesting shelf here, but it still looks natural enough. So I'll probably err to having the cut mark still on the back just to be more natural looking. And I think this is a really cool looking piece. So we'll lay this guy in the center here somewhere, some way, somehow like that. The next project will be probably to chisel out a bit of a pass through here without compromising the stability of that. I'm just going to lay this down. So that'll be the next project, and we'll just simply use the hammer and the screwdriver and I throw it on the ground. It's basically you just tap into that, and there's a little piece. It's super brittle in a good way, and I have just a bucket here of junk. And then the other larger pieces we have down here that we'll keep, and we'll throw in the other tanks as we need them. So we're going to go ahead and do some of these, just chisel this out, so get a good look of the before, and then afterwards I'll show you kind of what it looks like. Okay, so I don't remember exactly how much I've shown you, so I'm not going to, I'm pretty sure we just showed the hacksaw and all that, so I'm not going to back out. Sorry, you have to wait for the big reveal. But so basically this is a stacked piece here, and we had a long drill bit. Now these are 1/4 inch acrylic tubes, and basically we took a long drill bit, and I'll say make sure you just actually get a 1/4 inch, careful there, drill bit that will go all the way through. It'd be much easier. I have two here, shadow, two here that we had to make go through multiple pieces. So get a long 1/4 inch drill bit, go straight down, ream it out just a little bit to where these fit pretty well. And then what we're going to do is figure out the length of these to where they won't be visible, and just cut them barely off to where once they're placed in the water, because it's already placed, or excuse me, the water's already started to be in there. Once they're in the water, you won't see them at all, and you know, it'll all be good and clear. So there's two, and then sorry you don't get to see the rest of it, but there's a really nice big shelf here. I'll show you that part. And yeah, it's coming along pretty well. This is some idea for the front pieces. So yeah, I'm really excited. It looks awesome. So here it comes. Ta-da! All right, so this is our final product, and we have checked the length, the width, and the depth, and we have done quite a bit of work to get things kind of in their general area of where we want them to go. We have secured and been working. This is not moving anywhere. That's what was in the previous video. Then the really cool piece that I'm really excited about, I chiseled through a cave there just for good measure and fun. And then on top of that, we have this little spire of sorts that is coming up, and it is, pull out the tape measure here, sorry about this. It is, here, hold this for me. Perfect. If we're looking at the tape measure, the base of the tape measure is 30, which is the height, and so we've got plenty of overhead room as well for things to grow up, and but that's kind of the pinnacle and the thing. I'm only going to have like a 2-inch, maybe probably close to an inch to an inch and a half sand bed. I have spaces for the overflows in the back here and here, which should be relatively close. This is the only piece that's kind of loose, and it's going to take some work to, and once it gets set there, it's not going to go anywhere. We'll probably put some epoxy on it. As I shake the table, even that spire's in there pretty darn well. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. We're about to put some epoxy into this guy to where it is bound. It will not move. Obviously, we'll cut these and make them so they will not go anywhere either. The same as for this, although I don't even think that we'll need to epoxy this. Maybe, who knows. But so that's the gist. There's a couple of cool little throughs there. Decided to leave this open, and this rock is just a really cool. Let's see if I can. There's a pretty big area of space behind it, so it really flows well. I'm pretty excited about it. We've got a couple of really nice shelves. Shelf here, shelf here, shelf here. Time to get working though. Time to put it in. We're gonna bond this thing and then start moving rock inside.